If you've read Britney Spears' new memoir, The Woman in Me, you'll know that she exposes a lot of celebrities. But not everyone made it in the book. So today on InformOverload, we're counting down the top 10 celebrities Britney Spears should have exposed in her memoir. If you love this video, be sure to like and subscribe to see more like it. Number 10, Jessica Simpson. Jessica has always been in the shadows of the pop princesses of the 90s, like Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera. While Jessica had a very successful career of her own, she never quite matched Britney or Christina's levels of mass success. And this all started with getting rejected as a mouse eater. And that kind of rejection carries on and tends to sour relationships in the future, which is why the group dynamics between Britney, Christina, and Jessica was so weird, despite the fact that they all came to fame at a similar time. This was made very clear during one particular incident when Britney was pregnant with her first child. At the time, she found herself backstage at the Teen Choice Awards along with Jessica Simpson. The story goes that Jessica commented on the pregnancy and politely asked her if she could kiss her pregnant belly, which is kind of a strange request unless you're really close with the person. Allegedly, Britney shouted "hell no" and was horrified by the suggestion. A source close to Jessica then reported that she was really insulted because Britney refused to let her do it. But let's be honest, everyone has their own boundaries. Number 9, Kanye West. It's no secret that Kanye has had trouble using his filter, especially when it comes to female pop stars. He experienced this problem in 2011 during an interview. At the time, Britney's hit single Hold It Against Me debuted, and it took the #1 spot. In response, Kanye seemingly went on a little rant that displayed his arrogance. He said, "I'm the smartest celebrity you've ever effing dealt with. I'm not Britney Spears." Now, we know that Kanye is famous for being his #1 fan in interviews and talking about his genius that only he can understand, but still there's no doubt that comment hurt. After all, why would he lash out at Britney Spears just because her song was successful? At this point in time, celebrities were way too comfortable using her as a punchline that no one really batted an eyelid, which makes the whole thing so much more upsetting. We'll never really know how Britney felt about that comment, seeing that she never went out of her way to hit back at him with another insult. Maybe because Kanye was constantly throwing shade at his fellow celebrities, she thought that even reacting to that rude comment was beneath her. Number 8, Jennifer Lopez. When news hit that Jennifer Lopez nabbed her own spot in Vegas, rumor on the strip was that Britney was not too happy with her new neighbor because of competition. To fuel these rumors, it was said that J-Lo was furious when she found out that Britney was making more money than her for the Vegas show, much more, to the tune of $5 million. And to further add to the chaos, there was some talk that a backup dancer of J-Lo betrayed her for Britney and told her all of the trash that Jennifer has said about her. At the time, it was reported that Britney was out for revenge against her and planned to step up her Vegas shows even more with the hopes of driving her far away from the turf. Now, this story doesn't sound too far-fetched when you think about how upset Jennifer was that she had to share the stage with Shakira at the 2020 Super Bowl halftime show. In her newly released documentary called Halftime, J-Lo called it the worst idea in the world. Basically, she was frustrated with the NFL for booking 2 headliners, making them share the same amount of time that any solo performer would receive, as opposed to doubling it and giving the women extra time to shine. What J-Lo was really mad about, though, is that the 2 previous solo headliners like Beyonce and The Weeknd both received 14 minutes to perform. But judging by her complaints, it's clear that she feels offended that they even asked her to share the stage at all. Number 7, Katy Perry. When Katy was the hottest new thing in pop music, she did a tasteless radio interview where she basically made light of Britney's 2007 meltdown. She said, "Being #1 at being hot is a lot to live up to. I'm going to shave my head next year. I can't handle the pressure. Beating up your car with an umbrella." But she wasn't done there. She also referenced the 2007 shaved head incident at an award show, where she said, "The only thing I have left to do is like shave my head, which I'm really saving for a public meltdown. I'm down for that." Many people were outraged by Katy's insensitivity and slammed her for making fun of Britney's suffering, which we all know was from poor mental health at the time. The Britney army was strong in force once they learned about Katy's insults during the infamous radio interview. Many fans were horribly upset that she chose this incident of her shaving her head and getting caught by the paparazzi smashing a car to use and use against her not just once but twice. Katy was then attacked by the Britney army and accused of poking fun at sensitive mental health issues. As for Britney, she chose to tweet a Bible verse. Although she didn't directly tweet it at Katy, it was pretty obvious from the content and the timing just who she was referencing. Number 6, Ariana Grande. Everyone and their former babysitter knows that Ariana Grande has not just a talent for singing, but also for impersonating several other popular singers as well, even the ones who have been in show business for a lot longer than she has. She can even masterfully imitate famous people who are not singers like Jennifer Lawrence. So some of her most well-known and most requested impressions are of Whitney Whitney Houston, Celine Dion, Rihanna, Shakira, and of course Britney Spears. But what did Britney think of Ariana's impression? While she was doing a radio interview, Britney listened to the impersonation of her, and all she said was, "I've heard better," though she did follow up with a compliment for Ariana's real voice, when she said, "I like it, it's smooth." So even though the impression of Britney might have been spot on, it's not exactly something that she appreciated. But Ariana was getting some serious backlash around this time as well. A few years later in 2014, reports emerged that she demanded to be carried around like a baby after she shared photos of herself being toted around. One source told Life magazine, quote, "Her new rule is that she has to be carried, literally carried like a baby when she doesn't feel like walking. She says that she doesn't want her precious feet to hit the floor." So that report was a little embarrassing when it came out. Number 5, Iggy Azalea. When music producers put Britney Spears together with Iggy Azalea, who was a relative newcomer at the time but someone with major potential, it seemed like a match made in heaven. But their song Pretty Girls didn't do as well as everyone had hoped. Maybe it had to do with the music video where Iggy played some kind of weird space alien, or maybe the stars just didn't align the way they do for other hit songs. Either way, one fan seemed to be very forgiving about the situation when they tweeted, "Even if Pretty Girls flopped a little bit, still getting a lot of views on YouTube and it's the summer anthem of 2015. So whatever, we love you." But Iggy tweeted back, "It's difficult to send a song up the charts without additional promo and TV performances, etc. Unfortunately, I'm just featured." That tweet definitely impacted Britney because she was indicating the song failed because of Britney and that she was mostly to blame. The singer then used Twitter to fire back and wrote, "Can't wait to get back to Vegas. So thankful I have shows for the rest of the year to look forward to. Hashtag you want a piece of me." So the fact that her tweet came so soon after Iggy's tweet stating that she was just featured in the song Pretty Girls was no coincidence. Number 4, Avril Lavigne. On MTV's Total Request Live with Carson Daly in 2007, Avril felt the need to strongly defend her skate punk persona, which included being against the princess of pop Britney Spears. At the time, she was quoted saying, "Why would you walk around the streets in an effing bra? She's not being herself up there because she's dancing like a HO. She says she's a virgin, you know, it's just not clicking." The crowd laughed and Avril fumbled around for an excuse before blaming the press for putting words in her mouth. During Avril's career, she did very well for herself and became the 3rd best-selling Canadian female artist of all time. But despite her great success, she does not come close to Britney, who we know has sold over 150 million records worldwide, which makes her one of the best-selling recording artists of all time. Britney recognized this difference too, and she chose a casual but effective comeback designed to sting Avril where it really hurts. In response, she said, "Avril doesn't really dance, but whatever, it's weird. My 3rd album sold as much as her 1st one," which is very funny to me because everyone thought it didn't do that great. Now, this comment must have really stung because there was never any kind of response to it, so we'll never really know what Avril thought. Number 3, Mariah Carey. While Mariah Carey was mentioned in Britney's memoir, she wasn't exactly exposed, and we kind of think that she should have been. When she was asked during a red carpet interview what she thought about Britney expressing interest in joining the X Factor, she responded by saying, "You think I focus on that stuff?" She then paused a gesture between herself and the interviewer, saying, "Have we met?" Mariah quickly followed up the comment by stating that she loves Britney, but she just doesn't care about who's going on what show, which sounds like a pretty reasonable thing to say if only it ended there. Now, Mariah hasn't exactly said anything directly negative about Britney, but she has made similar comments here and there that seem to just discount her. Despite being a mega pop star herself, Britney had a fangirl moment when she met Mariah. In the early years of her career, she had been a longtime fan of Mariah's work, and as a kid, she would practice performing by making homemade music videos of herself dancing and singing to Mariah Carey's music. She introduced herself to Mariah by knocking on her dressing room door backstage at an award show that the two of them had been attending. She said that Mariah was a sweetheart and immediately said yes to taking a picture together. But in true Mariah fashion, she would not accept anything but good lighting and the right angles for pictures. So judging by that passage, you can tell that she was always a bit of a diva. Number 2, Colin Farell. Shortly after her breakup with Justin Timberlake, Britney talked about the moment that she laid eyes on a handsome guy named Colin Farell. She met him on the set of The SWAT, and since there was no security on set, she was able to just drive up and pop by for a visit. One day while she was visiting the soundstage, the director spotted her and asked if she would like to watch them film a scene, and that's when Colin approached her. According to Britney, Britney, that's when they got into a fling, and they were apparently so attracted to each other that they literally would not separate for that 2 weeks. Colin even took her to the premiere of The Recruit, where she accidentally wore a pajama top instead of normal clothes. She claimed that the fling was short-lived and ended quickly after she realized that she was just using him as a rebound, considering that she still wasn't over Justin. This revelation is a little sad considering that it was one of the most unexpected celebrity couples to ever appear. Looking back, it's really difficult to imagine the two of them together, but it probably would have been a much more healthy relationship than the one she ended up having with Justin Timberlake. And coming in at number 1, Rachel McAdams. For anyone who might have forgotten, Britney is not just famous in the world of music, but she actually attempted to get an acting career off the ground for a brief period of time in the early 2000s. After starring in the movie Crossroads, she auditioned for a role in The Notebook, which is crazy considering that she almost played alongside Ryan Gosling in what turned out to be one of the most iconic romance movies ever made. In fact, she got so far into the casting process that it was just down to her or Rachel. And in the end, we all know that they went with Rachel, but that is a choice that Britney fully supported. Apparently, she started to get cold feet further into the process. So instead of being in The Notebook, she went on to work on her album In the Zone and put her creative efforts to good use despite the Hollywood rejection. While we may never know what that movie would have turned out like, it's something that fans would have loved to see. So what do you guys think about this video? Please let me know in the comments below, and be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more like this.